AI is not replacing most jobs. It's quietly reshaping almost all of them. By 2026, AI is expected to touch around 80% of work in some form, while the global AI market pushes past $400 billion. And that shift is already underway. These are the 9 AI trends shaping 2026 ranked by impact. Trend 9: AI becomes persistent and personal. Most people don't want AI that resets every time a conversation ends. In fact, about 82% of users say they want AI that remembers them across sessions. That demand is driving a shift toward more persistent personal AI systems. When an AI remembers how you write, what you've worked on, or decisions you've already made, friction drops. You don't need to restate context or repeat instructions. Work feels more continuous and less fragmented. The engagement data reflects that difference. Personalized AI assistants show roughly 3.5 times higher engagement than generic ones, largely because they adapt to individuals instead of treating everyone the same. As this trend grows, AI shifts away from being a disposable tool and towards something more consistent and familiar, changing how people organize work and manage information. Trend 8: AI becomes a geopolitical strategy. AI is no longer just something companies experiment with. It's become a national priority. Over the past few years, the number of countries with formal AI strategies has tripled, signaling how seriously governments are taking it. These plans go beyond research labs. They include funding for infrastructure, education, computing power, and long-term workforce development. The scale of investment is hard to ignore. The Middle East announced tens of billions of dollars in AI spending in a single year. China's AI market continues to expand rapidly through 2026. At the same time, the US and Europe are racing to secure advanced chips, large data centers, and highly specialized talent. This isn't about who gets the best headlines. It's about economic leverage and influence. Where AI is built and regulated affects job creation, data control, innovation speed, and global competitiveness. By 2026, AI won't just shape companies, it will increasingly shape national power itself. Snort's Trend 7: AI moves beyond text into sight and sound. Text was only the first interface. Today, AI is increasingly able to see, hear, and respond in more human ways. Usage data shows that 55% of smartphone users now use voice AI on a weekly basis, indicating a clear shift away from typing as the primary interaction method. At the same time, demand for visual understanding has surged. Video understanding queries increased by 670% in 2025 as people began asking AI to analyze what's happening on the screens, in meetings, and inside recorded footage. This shift matters because humans don't experience the world through text alone. We rely on visuals, tone, and context. When AI can process audio, images, and language together, it becomes more intuitive and more useful. Instead of carefully typing commands, people are talking, showing, and reacting naturally, making AI feel less like software and more like a system that understands what's going on around them. Trend 6: AI moves from screens into the physical world. AI is starting to move beyond screens and into physical environments. For most of its recent history, AI lived inside software, powering chatbots, dashboards, and digital tools. That boundary is now shifting. The humanoid robot market is projected to reach around $38 billion by 2030, reflecting growing interest in AI systems that can operate in the real world. The ecosystem around this technology is expanding quickly. 23 major companies are now actively developing humanoid robots, up from just 7 in 2023. These systems are already being tested in controlled settings like factories, warehouses, and logistics, hubs where tasks are repetitive and environments are predictable. Tesla has slated plans to deploy thousands of Optimus robots inside its own factories by late 2026. The significance here isn't spectacle, it's practicality. AI is beginning to perform physical tasks alongside humans, signaling a shift in how automation appears in everyday operations and industrial work.
Trend 5: Advertising quietly enters AI experiences. As AI usage continues to scale, monetization becomes difficult to avoid. Market forecasts now project the AI advertising sector to reach about $107 billion by 2028. highlighting how quickly AI platforms are turning into everyday destinations rather than occasional tools. As people rely on AI more frequently, these systems naturally become attractive spaces for advertising. User attitudes are shifting alongside that growth. Around 58% of users say they would accept ads inside free AI tools if it keeps those services accessible. This pattern mirrors what happened with search engines and social platforms in earlier stages, where ads generally became part of the experience. The real challenge is balance. Ads inside conversational systems need to be relevant and restrained to avoid breaking trust or disrupting usability. How this balance is managed will shape user experience. By 2026, advertising is likely to become a subtle but persistent element across many AI interactions. Trend 4. Context replaces prompt engineering. Prompt engineering once felt like a skill you had to learn to use AI effectively. That's changing quickly as context windows expand. In just 18 months, context capacity grew from around 8,000 tokens to more than 200,000, an increase of roughly 2,500%. That shift fundamentally changes how people interact with AI. Instead of carefully crafting short prompts, users can now share entire documents, long conversations, project histories, or background notes in one go.
AI systems can reason across broader contexts rather than responding to isolated instructions. This makes outputs more consistent, more relevant, and easier to refine. Search behavior reflects this shift. Context-aware AI searches increased by about 890% in 2025. As users began asking more layered and nuanced questions, the advantage is no longer about clever wording. It comes from providing meaningful context. As a result, AI becomes far more useful for research, analysis, and complex real-world work. Trend 3, the technical divide starts to disappear. For a long time, building software meant knowing how to code. That line is now starting to blur. In 2025, about 43% of new applications were built using AI-assisted new tools. At the same time, AI coding assistants increase developer productivity by roughly 40 to 60%. Allowing teams to move faster with fewer restrictions. What's even more significant is who's building software today. In 2025, around 52% of citizen developers, people with formal programming backgrounds, successfully created functional applications. That represents a major shift in who gets access to building tools and who gets to participate in software creation. This clears throat doesn't eliminate the role of engineers, but it changes the landscape. More people can prototype ideas, automate workflows, and ship basic products without deep technical expertise. As this trend continues into 2026, the divide between technical and non-technical work keeps narrowing, reshaping how products are built, and clears throat who gets to build them. Trend to AI workflows win while autonomous agents pull back. In 2025, fully autonomous AI agents became one of the most talked about ideas in tech. The promise was systems that could plan, decide, and act on their own. In practice, the rollout proved more complicated. Data shows that about 67% of companies that deployed autonomous agents in 2025 scaled them back within 6 months. The issue wasn't raw capability. It was reliability and control. Many systems struggled with consistency, edge cases, and trust. As a result, most successful AI implementations took a different path. About 89% rely on human-in-the-loop workflows, where AI handles specific tasks while humans stay involved in oversight and This model has proven more stable and easier to manage at scale. Rather than fully replacing people, AI operates inside structured workflows that support human judgment. Heading into 2026, attention is shifting away from autonomy for its own sake and toward systems that balance speed with accountability. Trend 1 AI models stopped being the main differentiator. For years, the AI conversation focused on which model was better. Bigger models, smarter models, newer releases. That focus is starting to fade. Since 2023, API pricing for AI models has dropped by roughly 80%, making advanced intelligence far cheaper and more widely available than before. When intelligence becomes abundant, it stops being the main advantage. Today, most companies have access to similar underlying models with comparable capabilities. As a result, performance gaps between models matter less than they used to. The real differences now show up in how AI is applied. Things like data quality, workflow design, context handling, system integration, and overall user experience play a much larger role. This shift changes how value is created in AI-driven products. Success is no longer defined by owning the most advanced model, but by building systems that use intelligence effectively and reliably. In 2026, models still matter, but the systems built around them matter far more. If you made it this far, let us know what you think in the comments. And if you're curious how creators analyze what's actually working on YouTube, there's a link to Overseer OS in the description you can explore on your own. For more topics like this, make sure to watch the recommended video on the